What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, the Big Games B.S, part of Den Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com. Go to website, a whole bunch of stuff going on with us in the community. We'll get to more of that. Be doing a lot of announcements moving forward in the coming weeks. Is that my glasses or is it just fuzzy? Father's Day weekend. We got a football camp. July 19th, we have a camp. July 20th, July 26th, July 27th, August 2nd, August 3rd. Those are the different things that we have going on. Go to mftkfoundation.com to get more information on all of those different things going on. Just kind of getting through things a little bit quicker than normal, seeing as we've only had one show this week, so I'm sure we got plenty of things that we got to get into. This Friday evening of BS that I know a lot of you guys are doing your own thing, watching some college baseball, watching different kind of news that's going on. Actually appreciate that, Charles. Yeah, so lost a couple people. I guess we probably will have that in the FSU moment, but we did lose. Miles lost his grandmother. Everybody knows that she was dope. Grandmother-in-law, Gagi. 94 years, a long run though. So that's but we also lost a team, not a teammate, but a friend of mine, a colleague, and we'll get to that once we get into the show. But to start everything off with it, let's make sure we're doing everything right with a good word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
All right. What we got, Jaden?
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So welcome everybody. Friday, May 30th, 8/28 for our evening edition of Big Games BS, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the BS in the sports world. Today, we're starting off our segment with an MFTK MFTK moment. Then we'll get into some FSU news, some tragedy there. Got some condolences, some RIPs to discuss. Then we'll talk about some FSU football, baseball. Staying in the college world, we're going to talk about, a new SEC rule, the new EA College Football 26 trailer, and then a couple more interesting articles like that. Next, we have a few articles on the NFL to discuss. Can't wait to get into that. Then we have our Big Games BS segment where we bring the scope of conversation outside of the typical football world. Got some interesting topics to discuss, everything from basketball to popular culture to another FSU alumni. So before we get started into our college segment, let's kick this off with our MFTK segment. This first person is no surprise to the channel if you're a regular, but B-Fi is going to B-Fi if he keeps doing what he's doing. He was at a Rivals camp and he was going off. Just have this quick video to play in the background, James, while we look at B-Fi do his thing.
One, he's got way more than 15 offers. That's crazy. It's always just underthrow it. It's always the outlaws with B5. It's just so fucked up, man. Like you could be in good position. "Oh, okay, you got me. Boom, boom, stop. You're still moving because he's faster than what he looks like, and he has that. Go back to the show in the video. I told him he got this old man. He got these old man moves. Like he's one. The one thing we got to work on him though is keeping his hands up. Like even right there as he's going through the gauntlet, but like his moves are just like it's nothing like sexy. It's just like, but it works. The shit works, man. It's almost like a clumsy athleticism. But and he's definitely faster than what I don't like that. His knees aren't big. He can get his knees up more. So right there when you notice him doing that, he's got more control. Like that's just fucked up. He wasn't talking shit that day either. So, but that must have been from the rivals camp um a couple weeks ago. He actually messed his heel up actually. On that. So again, we have a saying, B5 gonna be fine. So get to know him. Everybody make sure you go follow him. BFYE 904. Make sure you go follow him. Get on the bandwagon early. The kid is gonna be amazing.
Since we turning up for B5, we got a turn up for turn up. Huge shout out to Elijah Caldwell Hardy, aka Turn Up. He was ranked a 3-star safety by 247 Sports, class of 26, out of Jacksonville. Not able to come to Mandarin U, but it's okay. Still playing for that MFTK Domo squad. So James, I know he's one of these sleeper picks in the MFTK Domo circuit. Just speak on Turn Up getting this 3-star rating by 247.
One, I like how they don't have him as a corner, moved him to safety. Probably a better position for him in college. Really good man coverage skills. I would say he was the second best player on that Domo national team. Best defensive player on that Domo national team. Definitely a lockdown guy. Made some big moves. Just like I said, B5 gonna be 5, turn up gonna turn up. And let me tell you how good he got to be. Anybody who watches the show right now in the comments, I want y'all to read his name and look at something that I don't necessarily agree with, but I still give him the good old big game thumbs up. He's got 2 last names. Jit got 2 last names. I don't deal with Jits with 2 last names, but Turn Up is like you hear people tell you story like he got his nickname for a reason. Turn up, turns up, turned up a little bit too much, but he was never that. He was always. I've driven him places like we went to the first. I drove him to Battle Miami for the first tournament we had, and Turn Up was very, very great kid. Loved being around him. He's dope, good individual, good kid.
Huge shout out to Turn Up and continue to grind. Definitely one of the more underrated players and definitely a dog on that field. So huge shout out to you for getting that major accomplishment by 247. But we're transitioning to some sad news coming from Florida State. So we got a couple of these condolences to get into. So with the first being the passing of former FSU president John Thrasher. If you're in the North Florida community, Thrasher is an icon with his philanthropic work. If you've ever been to Thrasher Horn in Orange Park, I know that's a little bit ways away, but that's Thrasher. That's the same guy. I just want to read you this post by FSU. John Thrasher, who led his beloved alma mater to new heights as the 15th president of FSU, had a distinguished career in law and public service, and he will be remembered for his steady leadership, servant's heart, and abiding faith. He died 81 years old Friday, May 30th, was born on December 18th, 1943, was a U.S. Army veteran, a giant in Florida politics, and lifelong FSU Seminole. He was a president from 2014 to 2021. And he had a successful $1.16 billion fundraising campaign, major strides in academic excellence, student success, and research. So the current president, Richard McCullough of FSU, released a statement I'm not going to get into all the details, but just read you that first paragraph right there. Jai, his wife, and I are deeply saddened by the passing of FSU President Emeritus John Thrasher. John and Jean, his wife, were the first to welcome us into the FSU family, and we will always remember the kindness they extend to us. They made it their mission to help us feel at home in Tallahassee, and we will be forever grateful for their friendship and generosity. Huge RIP and sending condolences to the Thrasher family, a legend in Tallahassee and Northeast Florida, and for our country as a veteran.
Want to let the people see that. Don't know if they can fully see whose text message that, whose phone that is, number that is. That's Big John. That's what we called him. And he had to read receipts on for me. So, but President Thrasher was amazing, man. Yeah, very good politician. I was just like, how the hell does he know my name? Was the first response, but then just talking to him about stuff. So one of the first things that I did before the MFTK Foundation became really good, because President, a lot of people will probably remember him as being the guy who's part of hiring Willie Taggart and firing Willie Taggart. But there was a group of kids from Buck Lake Elementary School who wrote letters to the football team. And it's the beautiful thing about kids, right? Like kids, they just see like, oh, they're losing and everybody's talking so bad. You know what we're going to do to cheer them up? We're going to write them letters. And wow, I feel bad that they made kids do this. But kudos to their teacher. Her name escapes me for right now, but it was amazing. She's a dope woman. She was next door neighbors to Monk Bonasort's wife. Another Noel who died tragically of cancer. Probably a little over a decade ago. But we came in. I bought all those kids. I bought the entire class and their parents tickets to the game, right? And we were having a hard time getting them on the field just to let them experience it. I'm going to FSU media and our SI, like they didn't want to help get the little jits on the fucking football field, like to get some good mojo going, right? They were getting their asses whooped, and we were worried about a whole bunch of other shit. Well, they saw President Thrasher. President Thrasher took time out, talked to each one of the kids, shook their hands. And you know what President Thrasher made sure them little kids got a chance to do? Get on the damn football field. And those are just the things that, that man didn't have to do that. That man was a powerful man in government and making moves. It was great, no. But I feel bad because he's gone. And old people you never think are gonna die. That's the thing. They're just there. But 81 is a good run. He lived. I don't remember him being sick or anything, but I'm glad, glad to have got to know President Thrasher.
Just want to say condolences and RIP again to John Thrasher and to the Thrasher family. And we're going to second that with another RIP with someone who was dear to the FSD community and impacted lives through the Jacksonville community, through high school football as well, and a father as well. So, former FSU linebacker Bradley Jennings has passed away at the young age of 47. He was balling on the Seminoles from 97 to 2001, recorded 339 total tackles, five for loss, 2 sacks, 4 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions. Was on the Mandarin U coaching staff in Jacksonville with James. Had his son on the team as well. Top corner, top defensive back as well, Brody Jennings. So James, I know this one hit a little bit close to home, being that he was part of your staff as well on that Mandarin U team.
Yeah, when you get a chance to see a guy every day. Funny thing about Monster, that was his nickname, is when I came to Florida State, he graduated. So he graduated. His last season was the 2001 season. I came in 2002, right? They would tell stories about Bradley Jennings, and What a lot of people don't know is that Monster got shot the week of the NFL draft. This is why he didn't get drafted, more than likely. He got shot. He took an insurance policy out, lived his best life. Very intense individual. And again, like, they told a story about how he hit a walk-on in practice and he shook his vertebrae. Like, I didn't know you could shake vertebrae. I thought vertebrae pretty sturdy. Didn't know that you can loosen those bad boys up with a hit. And you hear the things, and at Florida State, there's a lot of larger than life personalities. A lot of guys that you hear things about, and a lot of guys that you know but you can't put it together because people didn't come back as often as you would like them to. So moving to Jacksonville, getting to know Coach Bullock at Mandarin when we were at Ponte Vedra, and just talking about some of the guys that we knew. Like, he knew Monster and he coached with Monster, and Monster had some things where that happened. Foolish thing, joking too much, but Monster's a very intense individual. He's kind of a scary guy if you don't know him, if you would. But when Bobby was coaching his last game here in Jacksonville, they practiced at Jacksonville University. We went over there and I went to go watch them practice. And Bobby was like, "Hey, Cola, that's you, okay?" Blah blah blah, and he's doing through the different things. And I'm honored that the old man knows who the fuck I am, because you got to think how many black number 36s Bobby Bowden has seen over the course of his life, just to be remembered is an honor. But he said something that threw me off, and he said, "Monster, is that you?" And I'm like, if the old man's calling this motherfucker Monster, what the fuck don't we know about? Like, this man was a cold-blooded killer on the football field. And it was an amazing watch. But bigger than that, you get sad because he's young. You get saddened because he's full of life. But I want to, with Father's Day coming around the corner, I want to speak to what I saw from him over the last few years. Monster was an incredibly active and good father. And one of the most bullshit things that I see on social media, because I know it's an engagement thing, is when I see people say, "Oh, black men ain't this or black men ain't that." I can't speak to Monster as a husband. I don't know what he was like. I know he has a wife, and I know he's there. They work together. But what I can speak to is what I have seen for him as a coach and as a father, not to just his kids, but a father to other people's kids. That's why my mom was even saying, I got a little terse with people on Facebook. Because I was like, I don't know if his kid, I didn't know if his kids knew at the time. He's got two sons. We got one son, BJ, I think is working now. He's in college. He's coaching college. He's got Brandon that I'm not sure if he was back in Mississippi or if he was home because he plays for Mississippi State. You got Brody, who is playing who's at Mandarin U. And I can't, forgive me, I don't know his daughter's name, but she's, I think it probably starts with a B. She runs track for the University of Miami, and his baby girl is 4. When I see the way his sons look at him, when I see the way, like, it is like, why have y'all ever seen like well-trained dogs? Like, they just walk everywhere Brad walk. If Brad was walking, his sons were in unison with him. Like, they were like, he helped. He was very integral in their recruiting. He cared. He always talked about the plans for his sons, and his sons followed it, and they were just so successful. And he's been training. So it wasn't like he was just, I don't know all of his health stuff, but he's been working out. Hell, he does the same workouts he takes his kids through. And I know them workouts is crazy because Monster's crazy. But it's in the mentality that I even wanted my son. I was, he's going to be there, right? So I'm like, my sons are going to go train with Monster because I want them to be like Monster. And then, Monster goes and you get the call and they tell you that one of your friends had a heart attack and you're just like, I don't believe you. And when you hear stuff like that and then you call their phone or you text them and they don't answer, it don't feel good. Even if whether it's true or not, you don't know what's wrong with them. You don't know what happened. And it makes your mind go a lot of different ways. But people were telling me condolences, and I mean, thank you, but I more think about it. I got a chance to communicate with Brody and Brandon. I'm trying to get his film. I want to get some film from Florida State. So if any of you guys right now got time, or if any of the coaches are listening, I inbox Mike. I'm going to call some other people next week, but it would be a very cool thing if we could just get some clips from 97 to 2001 of when Bradley was playing and just, good little highlight just to show things of their father doing stuff. And you know, I know he really wanted one of his sons to walk in his footsteps. Hope it happens, don't know. But I know Brad was a good dude, man. So all right, it's enough of that emotional shit. I know he'd be calling me a punk right now. So um like I said, man, he's just an overall good dude, man.
Thoughts and prayers to the Jennings family, everybody associated with them and their circle, saddened by the news. Staying in Tallahassee, though, there was some other more troubling news, James. I don't know if you got a chance to see this, but it occurred. A video went viral yesterday or the day before, if I'm not mistaken. But ICE pulled up in College Town in Tallahassee, and a lot of people took to the internet and posted. About 100 workers were detained. You can see the video right there playing right by Doak Campbell Stadium, building the College Town apartment area complex right there. And we have this post by Jake Cohen. I tried to look up his Facebook account, but it seemed like it was deleted. Don't know if this is real, this is fake, but just wanted to share this because I couldn't verify. Jake Cohen said, quote, "Lost a lot of good men today. I like Trump, but this isn't what I voted for. This will absolutely kill the economy in construction. I thought he was going after gang members and criminals with warrants, not hard working guys." Yikes. Those apartment prices are going to go up, James.
So I think that one was fake. But what I will say is there are people who think like this. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to get into politics or the stuff. I just always tell people you got to talk like we actually have to interact with each other outside of who's in office. And I think too many people want to win. And hey, shit happens. But like here's what the people really care about, okay? Let's stop pretending like we care about some guys getting rounded up. Most of you don't care until it happens to you, and that's just, I'm not judging you. That's just the American way, right? But none of this affects the renovations of Doak Campbell Stadium and the football only facility. That's the only thing y'all care about. That's the first thing I thought about. I was like, oh shit, where are we at? And then I went to go look. I'm like, oh, okay. The stadium's about done. Like all safe, fuck it. The things we need the Mexicans for, we've already gotten cleared out. So like now we can get the regular degular people in here to fix this stuff. Like, the stuff where you gotta be hot is outside, is like real hard. And so you probably don't remember when the Mexicans fixed our roof. Yeah. After a hurricane, it came in there, man. I'm talking about they do a full, there's no 2-day roof cares. Like they come at 5 a.m. and they leave at 8. They leave when the job is done. The sandwiches are 8 up there. Like they come in, they bomb. Like you're not awake. like I woke up to thinking somebody was trying to break into my house through the roof. Like you just hear it and it's like really loud. And they're just there and they're gonna work and they're gonna take one break and they're gonna get it done. And then you know what? They're also it's gonna be quality work. Because you know who they're hiring? It's the best nepotism and good old boy system ever. That one Vato is gonna hire his Vatos, and Vatos Locos is coming in here and they're gonna make it go. But you know, hey, them the jobs that they say they taking from everybody. But you know whose black ass ain't gonna ever be on the roof? This guy. I don't want that job. I would gladly give them that job. But yeah, shit. I think I might be burnt from Jamaica. A little red right here. A little tender right there. Sport Mark got it. The truth of it, they work hard, they roll deep, and they want all hundreds. I don't think that's a Mexican thing, though. I think we're being slightly racist. That's a Spanish thing. Because the one person I remember who had nothing but hundreds, and I still don't know why, Francisco. Miles's goddad Cisco was out east with a pocket full of money, walking around like I wish a motherfucker would try me. And I was like, that is a bad man right there. I was like, because when he pulled out that wad to pay for our meal, I said, Jesus, you just been walking around with that kind of money? Like it had to be I don't know if it was all hundreds, but it was some good, it was enough of them on the crisp, on the head of that lettuce. It was enough of them bad boys. And shoot, that thing, that if it was all hundreds, he was walking around with 5-6K on them. But yeah, man. So the Vatos have done their job with Doak. We just gotta, college time just might be a little bit longer on those pot mints, and you may have to spend a little bit more. But hey, those guys are. It is what it is. I laugh. I want all the things that everybody voted for to come to fruition. I am with you. I want your dreams and hopes to come true.
FSU defeated Bethune-Cookman today 6-2 in the Tallahassee Regional. Got a few rain delays during the game, but huge shout out to the Seminoles for getting that dub 6-2. It's
so funny that you can't even say Black Lives Matter in this because they don't. But if you look at the baseball team of Bethune-Cookman, probably looks just like Florida State's baseball team. They're so white.
Now we got some football news.
Oh, real quick, Brian Harris no longer attends Mandarin, Jarrett. All right. And nobody, well, yeah, just he's at Creekside now. He got his offer, and then he got what he needed to get, and then bounced. So, yeah. For those who don't know, he is no longer a part of Mandarin University.
Dang.
We don't do it once a Mustang, always a Mustang thing either. He a op now. We play Creekside week 1. And our whole sole purpose is to beat the hell out of some asses. On that note.
Sheesh, did not know. Gerard. That was funny, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man. The choir boy. Told y'all, man. This is okay. So a lot of people were like, James, why is he going to Florida State? I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm going to give you a really good indicator. Really good indicator. Y'all have heard me talk about Jamie French. Have you ever? I've always talked about, like, you heard me talk about Tramel. You heard me talk about Drake. I'll tell you about a kid, Kendrick. We got a kid, Cam, that we need to bring in, but Cam is a reach for us. I'll admit that. Brian Harris is committed to a school out of the state of Florida and does not have an offer from a school in the state of Florida. One could deduce what you need to deduce out of that. If nobody in the state of Florida has offered a kid as a 4-star All-American in the state of Florida. That should tell you everything that you need to tell you. So they are definitely not, they're not recruiting him. And that would not be the first Mandarin kid that I would necessarily want Florida State to go after and just have a land. But I do think they should have offered him though, but they didn't even offer him. He wasn't, we never, and they never had any intentions of offering him either. So yeah, my bad. All right, well, what else we got, Jaden?
We have some kickoff times for 4 games in FSU's 2025-2026 college football season. So let's dive into these times, James. The second game on our schedule against East Texas A&M is at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the ACC Network at home. Next, Game 4 on September 26th is 7 p.m. at Virginia on ESPN. This is going to be the kicker. We are playing Stanford Game 7, October 18th at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, since
I
we're
might
playing
go.
on the West
I
Coast.
might go now. I may be doing. I wasn't going at first. Oh shit, we played it. Oh yeah, that's the London. Oh yeah, I might go. Yeah, that's our London game. The Jags play in London, so that'd be my game. Nobody judged Michael Irvin. So if I'm out here, you know, and I can't wear, if I have to wear Gator Bowl gear, but if I'm out here in my Gator Bowl jacket, in my pants, in my slacks, in all fours, like Michael Irvin, would I get judged?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, just was he wasn't barking, was he? Or he
Yeah,
was
he
just on. Oh,
was.
he had that thing arched, man. I was like, "Yo, what's going on, OG? Like we wilding right here." Is that what we need? Do we need? Because this thing about Miami hasn't had a season like this in quite some time. And Michael Irvin was out here shooting and booting and doing all that, was being the crackhead mascot for them. Is that what Florida State needs? I'm not going to be a crackhead mascot. I can tell you that shit right now. But I could, throw a little bit more, support. But 10:30 p.m. West Coast makes me want to go out there now. But I know those Friday night games, I will not be at. I have no intention on being at the Virginia game nor North Carolina State. Now, if we fuck around and like not do what we're supposed to do at Mandarin U, then I may go on ahead and go on up there and then fly back Saturday morning so I can coach Trey's game, because he should still be playing around that time. But yeah, Carter Finley Stadium is a wild place to play too. But yeah, so that's but that I like some of those games. Those night games. And I also like that they're gonna go ahead, if either my Saturday is gonna be geeked and you can't, or it's gonna be fucked up early. You know why? Because Florida State plays on a Friday. So if they lose on a Friday, and let's say Mandarin plays on that Friday and we win, they will not steal my joy. But if they win on a Friday, and there's nothing for me my Saturday is going to be already, I've won already until my boys play. But like, nothing's worse than going defeated on a fucking Saturday. Like Florida State loses, the boys lose. Like nothing's worse than that.
To cap off our FSU segment before we move on to more college news, we got some big news coming from an official visit, James. I know your group chats are probably buzzing with this, but 5-star quarterback, currently a Houston commit, Keyshawn Henderson, has scheduled his official visit to Florida State. So James, has this been buzzing in your group chat? You peep the coon, or is that a beaver skin cap he got on? So
Yeah. So you gotta, like, we won't have another guy like him. He's been quite a character in the 7-on-7 circuit the last few years. He's got his own individual battle brand. He wears that hat during 7-on-7. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Um, from what I'm understanding, is the purse strings might have gotten a little looser. Because we've been getting our asses handed to us in the quote unquote NIL world. So he's nice. He has a ton of sauce and seasoning that comes with him. And he's a guy that people want to play with and for. Probably can't get what he needs to get to Houston, but could definitely bring some talent to Tallahassee with him to entertain. He would have to immediately be one of those guys competing for a day one gig on and when the spring opens up. So like he would have to be the guy that you're selling the program to. So but he's a good player.
Next, we are finishing our FSU segment, but we're still in the college world with this news right here. So, field storming in the SEC will now cost the home team $500,000. So, Greg Sankey says the SEC, if you do not know, he's the SEC commissioner, will no longer use an escalating scale for the field and court storming fines, which resulted in this $500,000 cost for the home team. If you guys remember, Vanderbilt was storming the field when they beat Alabama, took that goalpost mile down the road, dumped it in the river. So I guess he wants to prevent that from happening as well. But James, do you think that $500,000 amount is fair or a little bit out of pocket?
I mean, it doesn't happen anywhere near as much as what people want. I'm going to, if I'm like a team, I'm just going to put $1 million in escrow. It just realized that let's just be for real. Like what? Let's say Tennessee beats. Pull up a SC. Pull up a random SEC team, like a decent middle of the pack SEC schools schedule right now. Anybody want to pick, like in the chat, like anybody got an SEC? Pick an SEC school.
I just thought of South Carolina.
Okay, let's pull up South Carolina's schedule. Does South Carolina have a game? They play Alabama at home? Because it's bright. I can't really see it as well. All right. October 25th. Alabama. How many okay, go to the right so we can see tickets as low as. Tickets as low as $124. All right. I know that's not what they're charging. That's not what South Carolina's going to charge. All they care about is what they get, right? So let's just say, let's keep it at let's say $85 per ticket, right? Let's just say they have a 90,000 seat stadium. For any cost, it's $7.7 million. Me doing a rough estimate, right? Goddamn right, I'm putting $500,000 to the side. We're gonna make enough off of social media. We're gonna make enough off of the people never forgetting that moment. You goddamn right. Now, if you got to storm the field for fucking every game, your team sucks, and you probably should reevaluate things. But a good, solid, like one-off, you budget for that. You got to budget for foolishness. It's kind of like what's the movie I love? Oh man, it's Brad Pitt. It's a World War II movie.
Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, the not so Inglourious Basterds. You take that bet, I take that bet. You take that bet, I'm taking that bet. That's what I'm taking that. Or take that, excuse me. You take that deal, I take that deal. I'm gonna take that deal.
So there's a big new deal on social media with the college football 2026 trailer dropping. And James, our school did not make the cut in the trailer at all. But we do have some good news before we show the trailer. So Mike Norvell and defensive coordinator Tony White are present in the EA Sports College Football 2026 game, but Mr. Gus Malzahn is not on this infographic. So that's a little bit of a sticky situation right there. But let's enjoy this college football 2026 trailer.
There's something in the air.
Oh, they got the bus entrance. They don't have L'Oreal coming out the tunnel with Texas.
To Saturday lights. Chapel Hill to Pasadena. It crackles down our spines. Tradition, tension, roars that remind our rivals they're not in Kansas anymore. It's electric. It shocks our nerves and ignites a place where the ground shakes. But our pride doesn't. Where our coach, scheme, playbook, and character are unlike any other. There's something in the air. It builds us up, breaks them down, and gives the stadium a pulse built on pride.
Try ukulele. Okay. Well, we already got our pre-order bundle, so Trey forced me to buy it a couple weeks ago. So, my money's spent. I'm going to. It's one of the few things my father did great. Like, or not even my father. Like, my father got me addicted to Madden when I was growing up, and then my mom once, she got me when she realized that's what I liked. She got me Madden and Madden NCAA, and March Madness video games every year for Christmas. So like, even though the seasons were kind of already over, but like that's what I wanted for Christmas. So like, and I would just play until I started purchasing it on my own. So we'll have it. Bordeaux has already been doing his reviews on it. One day they'll be cool enough to let us get in on it. And maybe we'll have some Madden trailer, Madden or NCAA trailers at the tailgate. So that we'll do for Bama. So, but I'm. Are you getting it, Jaden?
I really don't play video games no more.
I it's more of just a thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it. I played the video game for a week, and then I was like, all right, man, it's time for something else. But my son was gone to like the cross camp for the whole week, so like I was able to enjoy it while he was gone. And like then once he came back, it was just like it's technically his PlayStation, even though everything in his house is kind of mine. But like I don't really feel like going in there and fighting it. So I'm okay. I play. Oh, it sucks. Like I play Monopoly Go or Monopoly Deal on my phone. That's kind of what I do. That's my. But I used to play with Grand Theft Auto. If it ever comes out again, we'll probably buy that game too. Actually, by the time it come out, did they delay it to next year, Miles? So shit. By the time the game comes out, Trey's fucking grown at that point. 13, it's seen worse.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm ready for the game though. I'm excited about it. I just want them to go ahead and do. I need from my ego. They used to do all decade teams, and I was on one. I was on on the 2000s. That FB36, you know, can we get back to that? Like, you know, like, can I? I'll take. You ain't gotta give me a lot of money. You can just actually, you know what? Give me the video game in perpetuity. Just once you make that team, just be like, all right, James Coleman, 30. Boom, I'm cool. Just make sure, get me the good copy of the video game. Or let me play it early, like how everybody else is playing it. Just give me that access, and I'll just be like, all right, man, it'd be great to be. If, you know, if I make it, if you're one of the ones that make it.
Speaking of making it, James, funny that you said that. The College Football Hall of Fame will lower its win percentage from 60% to 59.5%, making legendary, innovative air raid guru Mike Leach eligible to join the College Football Hall of Fame.
I don't like
James,
that.
ooh, I was just about to ask you. You beat me to it.
I like it. I like him being in it. I don't like them having to go. I think at a certain point, common sense measures can be made. You could have just said, we are adding this most popular guy who has had an impact on the game because of the especially with the prevalence of the pass. And everybody would have been completely okay with it. Nobody would have judged you. Just do it. I don't like how people are afraid to just make a fucking decision and stand on that shit. Or call it something different. Maybe not. Maybe he's not in the Hall of Fame as a coaches are, but he's in the Hall of Fame. Have an innovator part, just like you have a journalist. You have a journalism part for College Football Hall of Fame. Have a fucking have a part like that, and then go from there. But I like that he deserves to be talked about. He's a big piece of college football history. But I just think just his fucking attitude. You know what he did when they fired him from Texas Tech, which I still think is one of the dumbest things to ever fire somebody for. And the kid, he only got fired because of who the kid's dad was, and that's when, you know, his dad was a DEI running back, and his son was probably not really that good and was really just recruited because of that. But his dad was part of the Pony Express. But he went and coached. He was an offensive coordinator, I think, at like Key West High School. Like, just the most random shit just to stay in football. And then he went out to Washington State to revamp their programming and give them more wins than what they were used to winning.
Next, we'll transition into the NFL. So, first things first, we are going to New York, James. Not the Giants, but the Jets. So, head coach Aaron Glenn has introduced Bible study as part of training with his players. I saw this circulate online, wanted to add it. I thought it was very, very interesting that he wanted to implement, especially Bible study. You can see up top on the paper, it says New York Jets Bible study. And then you got Jarius Monroe's name on top there, who's currently on the New York Jets staff. So they wanted to put this out. They wanted to, include Bible study. It is not obviously required, but, you know, he just wanted to introduce this to some of his players, and it's been circulating the internet. So I just wanted to add this to the feed, James, and ask your opinion on Aaron Glenn making a bold move like this in his first year of coaching, head coaching for the Jets.
I'm just go back to Dove Kleiman, who I have a problem. I think I know his check has to be glorious because he does such a good job of engagement for me. But blow it up so I can read it. Powerful. New York Jets head coach Aaron Glenn has introduced Bible study as part of his training with the players. The Jets are a totally different team. I want people to stop like God is such an interwoven part of American culture and American mythology that this isn't powerful. Like, to be the team that doesn't do it would probably be more uncommon than anything else. Every team has a chaplain, man. Every team, I can promise you, damn near every team. Now, the difference might be that most coaches don't say that they want to be a part of it. But it's just like Florida State. Clint Purvis is our team chaplain. Clint still does shit. You got Reggie Hutchinson. Reggie Hutchinson lives behind my mother. He's the FCA director. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 different 4 or 5 different types of preachers that you can go see on the team. It's like when people used to say Tim Tebow is a Christian. That's why they don't like him. Find the people on the team who aren't Christians. It's going to be harder.
They're all from the South.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's the best prayers come from the ones who sin the most.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just think people want to like Christians want to be persecuted so bad that you make up this mess in your head. Like, the world, it is literally revolved around you, and you only want now. I gotta joke with people. People say they want to have, we need prayer back in schools. No, we don't. We need just prayers, just like guns. Like, guns don't kill people, stupid people kill people is what they say. Like, religion, like, just that's what we need, more of that. Like, we need more of whatever else we're talking about. But we need the Beatitudes. Why don't you? Nobody ever talks about hanging the Beatitudes up in the church in the school cafeteria. Most of y'all probably don't even know what the Beatitudes is. Start saying things like "Blessed are the meek," like "Blessed are those who thunder and toil, for theirs is the things like that. You don't talk about like the cool, like the actual servitude. You want the hellfire and brimstone.
But it's not him. It's the Don Climbing in the media.
Yeah, no. Kudos to Aaron. Like, if that's what Aaron Glenn believes in, I appreciate him leading with that. But I'm going to tell you this. Every game starts off with the national anthem. Every game starts off with God Bless America. Now every game starts off with the Negro national anthem, even though people hate that. Just guys, it's actually a really good hymn. Embrace it. You should sing it a little bit. You want to hang up everything else, embrace the Negro national anthem too. We don't need, like, God is not, I promise you, God is not going to be looking over the Meadowlands and saying, I want to give them an extra hedge of protection because they do Bible study. We did Bible study it was 2 of them, actually. Tuesdays FCAs, and then Wednesday was Clint, I believe. And Clint would be there. And Clint, well, you know why I went to Clint's in the beginning? Besides Clint being a really big part of my growth and development. So a lot of people that have a misunderstood idea of how I feel about religion. I just don't believe y'all. Like, I don't, on an individual basis, I believe whatever Clint prayed to, Clint, like, that thing is real. If that makes sense. Might not make sense to you, it makes sense to me. But Clint gave us a large pepperoni pizza for Papa John's with the garlic tray. The little garlic butter. I don't know if you know, that was currency, dog, for a college student. They wasn't paying us NIL, dog. I knew I'll go hear the word if I get some food, man. You can preach to me whatever you want to preach to me, as long as it's a large pepperoni pizza, and it was always hot. So like it was good. Like Papa John's was the closest thing during that time before like now they got the specialty pizza shops. It's one of the closest things to New York style pizza that I can get, or a Northern style pizza that I can get, where like the toppings and stuff just slide off, and it's probably not good for your intestines. But
You shouldn't even say that.
what that is not good.
That is even close to a New York style. Or
No,
a
what I'm
Chicago.
saying, we're in Tallahassee during that time, and you know I know because we be in New Jersey all the time. I knew what it was like, but don't bring me no Pizza Hut.
That garlic sauce was the whole pizza.
Oh man, like you can eat it made the whole pizza edible.
Yeah.
Like that's why I would sit there and eat my pizza in peace while he was preaching, and it was good. Talk to me about anything if you fed me in college. Like, but nah, kudos to Aaron, doing whatever he needs to do, man.
We're gonna give a huge shout out to this rookie quarterback, man, Jaden Daniels. He is heading into his second year, but he had a successful first year, making it to the NFC Championship, losing to the future Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. So just want to include this fire stat right here. So these are the amount of games in the regular and postseason where a team had 0 punts and 0 turnovers. In 20 career starts, Jaden Daniels already has 3 of these games compared to Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning combining for 2 of these games in 993 total career starts. Just wanted to add this as well because man, he is in great company because this stat is no easy feat to accomplish, James. And huge shout out to Jaden. Hope he does well. Hope he doesn't get in his sophomore slump.
No punts is like the turnovers part is not as difficult as the no punts.
Yeah, really.
That's wild. I mean, no, like if the average team in the NFL has I think 8 games. Not 8 games, I mean you get 8 tries, right? 8 drives. And that's me being conservative, just trying to think of that. To not punt, like if you're scoring on 4 of those, you're doing really good. Like it's NFL, sometimes it's the first to 24 wins the game. But that's impressive. I did not know that. Kudos to Jaden. Mama know what she's doing now. The mama protecting her baby. If a girl comes up, what do you bring to the table, Miss Missy? I am the table. Well, my son has 3 games where he ain't had no punts or no turnovers. Ain't nothing you can do, Miss Missy, that's better than that. Right. Let me find a woman that's better. That got something that good. Start asking them, they start stuttering.
Speaking of rookie QBs, let's get into the last time each team started a rookie quarterback in a game. The most recent being the Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams as their first overall pick. Then you got the Jaguars 2021, Trevor Lawrence. And then you got some other teams in the mix. The Buffalo Bills 2018, Kansas City Chiefs 2017. But look at the Packers. 1987 was the last time the Packers started a rookie quarterback in a game. So, James, seniority rules over there.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. No.
Who was it?
I'll look that up right now.
Because that's crazy. And who was the Ravens rookie that started in 2022? Lamar was drafted before that, right? Yeah, Lamar was 17. Or 18, excuse me. It was a 17th season.
So the player on the Packers who started was by the name of Don Majkowski. He was drafted in the 10th round of the 1987 NFL draft, and he shared starting duties with Randy Wright.
Wow. Pie.
A blast from the past for sure. Wanted to put that in there because the Packers are standing on business, not starting their rookies, and 1987 was a while ago. Speaking of standing on business, James, this coach has been controversial being in college, being in NFL, having that rep attached to his name, and that coach is none other than the one and only Chip Kelly. So, Chip Kelly made a switch to Ashton Genty's famous running back stance, if you will. I don't know if you call it a stance or his Jason Voorhees copycat, but if you guys did not know, Ashton Genty used to stand up straight in the backfield while he played at Boise State, and Chip Kelly made him change that. And this is what he had to say about changing the stance. Quote, "It literally is about 3 inches, so I don't think it's that big a deal." 3
Whoa.
inches is a lot, James, you know.
Whoa. 3 inches properly placed could pierce your heart. Like, the one, Chip Kelly is never beaten the allegations. He's a little saucy, a little sassy, if you will, a little sassafrance. I don't want Chip Kelly to like Chip Kelly. Just probably, it was crazy. It's probably just rolled off his tongue, and you just like, hey, yo, bruh, phrasing. But here's the only problem I have with it. You know, Ash just seems like he's cool with it, obviously. But if it's only 3 inches and it is not that big of a deal, why adjust?
Right.
Clearly, you feel like it gets him in a better position to be able to make something athletic. I think running in terms of running back stances, we have to look comfortable. And as long as you're able to go right, left, forward, and not really backwards, because that's really everything that we're doing is change of direction and being able to do that. It shouldn't matter as long as they're not squatting or doing anything that looks just wild. This was a psychological thing of what are you willing to do to play here,
Right.
boy. It goes to the Chip Kelly calling, really believe Deshaun Jackson a gangbanger, and that's why he wanted him to leave, and a bunch of other stuff that I just don't vibe with or agree with when it comes to what Chip does. But you know, kudos to him. You know, but I need him to stop making these comments before they call HR on him. Because this could be deemed sexual harassment with him trying to get 3 inches, three the hard way.
So, we are going from Las Vegas to the Lone Star State to discuss the Cowboys' new head coach and what he thought about Dak Prescott. So, new Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer says that Dak Prescott is still in his developmental phase. Quote, "I think Dak is in the developmental phase, and that sounds crazy for a guy who's played that much, 10 seasons in fact, but there are things we're tweaking with Dak." Just wanted to share his stats with you all. Known for killing it during the regular season, but stinking in the playoffs. You can see some of the regular season stats right here, some of his accolades right here as well. His best season, notably, being the 2019 season where he threw for 4,902 yards, the most yards he threw in a single season, throwing 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions.
He's just never won a game that really mattered. Like a lot of production and just that's the frustrating part is that he's not bad enough to just completely throw away. Like if you get the question is right now, can you do better than Dak Prescott? And that's the fucked up part that put position they put you in. It's his stats right there. Like if I told you that was available, if I told you a 3-1, actually it's more than 3-1. So was it? He threw 9 interceptions last year.
He
Oh no,
well,
last year he was hurt, but the last year he played a full season was a 36 touchdown season, right?
yeah, that's when he had the most completions in his career, the highest touchdowns, and the longest pass of his career. 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a
So
TD to interception ratio of 4, James.
yeah, like 4-1, like hell yeah, I'm gonna take that, but it's Dak Prescott. Ooh, it's just tough to like. It, yeah, that's all I got. Is yeah.
I thought it was funny he was testing Dak like that, saying he was still in his developmental phase. Thought that was bold statement from their new head coach. So hopefully things in Dallas tend to track for the better. But we got another continuation episode to discuss Country Chronicles, but it is on ice. So Xavier Leggett, one of the fan favorites of the show, shout out to the Panthers. He was at a hockey game, and of course, when he's in front of the camera, in front of the bright lights, it's always going to be a movie. So enjoy this funny video of Mr. Leggett.
Yeah, I can't hear it, but I see the joy.
Oh, this is the Carolina Panthers are playing the Florida Panthers, or Carolina
Hurricanes,
Hurricanes playing the Florida Panthers.
which is ironic. Probably should flip those.
Right.
Oh, so this is playoff hockey
Yeah.
because the Florida Panthers are really like the
They're
last
reigning champs.
6 Stanley Cups have been from the state of Florida.
Florida, Tampa, and
Just Tampa, yeah, Tampa and Florida Panthers. Like they both went. I think both of them went 3 in a row. Oh, this boy done down there killed himself. And he in Gym Pop. Like he ain't even in the box or the suites. Hockey's fun, man. Hockey's fun live. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yes, and James, like you said, it was the Carolina Hurricanes NHL playoffs are underway. Like you said, Florida teams are popping, man. Florida teams are popping. So huge shout out to Xavier Leggett and the Florida teams in the NHL for doing their thing. Next, we have our big games BS segment to discuss, where our scope of conversation, is outside of the typical football world. So we got a lot of stuff to discuss. So let's run through these right quick. But we're going to talk about basketball first, and more specifically, Zion Williamson. So, Zion Williamson has been accused of rape and physical abuse in LA by a Jane Doe, claiming to be his former girlfriend. Quote, in addition to 2 specific rape allegations, the New Orleans Pelicans forward is accused of a continuing pattern of, quote, abusive, controlling, and threatening behavior towards the Jane Doe plaintiff, as detailed in the filing provided to the Daily Mail by Doe's attorney. James, did you hear about this situation with Zion? And what are your thoughts about this being a just this case coming up, especially with his questionable partner choices in the past, obviously with the whole Mariah Mills thing, blah 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 blah, X, Y, and Z. But what are your thoughts on this situation?
I think that he makes piss poor choices and partners. I Here's what I say about all of this stuff, man. Nobody is above like being a menace. He's probably he could be a nut ass freak boy. But I'm sorry, guys, it is hard to just straight up. Charlemagne said it a couple years ago. Listen to all women, believe all facts. If this were the case, I don't even want to just see pictures because it's crazy enough chicks out here knocking themselves out. Like, we have seen the worst. Like, there's a whole thing right now where a guy got prosecuted, and I believe he should be in jail for being dumb enough not to tell the truth and not to take the fucking stand and tell bitch I ain't shoot that bitch. It was the other chick. But you got a girl who cried and said, but told a whole lie. Like the police officers didn't have their cameras on, and they hid the evidence. They did a lot of things to like make it seem. We saw what happened with Travis Rudolph's baby mama. Well, not baby mama, excuse me. His girlfriend, who was still married to a dude. She painted this situation where he was the menace and he was abusing her. Meanwhile, they got a whole and you know what she is right now? Roaming free right now. They got video of her whooping his ass, and they decided, like, you know, we're not gonna, because nobody feels sympathy for winners. In particular, they don't feel sympathy for men when it comes to these situations. And I'm sorry, if Zion Williams is a menace, I don't want him sued first. I want him in jail.
Right.
So forgive me. Oh, well, you know, she got to get. They actually have this thing called restitution. So victims get paid. And maybe it's not as much as the civil side of it. But what I'm saying is when I see you, I automatically see it as a money play. And I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person when it comes to this, but I've seen the worst. I know what you're capable of. Like, we've seen this.
I mean, people try to fake insurance companies, and you have to understand these are full economies.
Scamming is new.
Yeah. So he has so much money. It's not unfeasible to think that someone would try to scam it, just like someone would try to scam any other big business.
And on top of this, typically the number is a lot cheaper to settle out of court than go to court. Everybody ain't Jay-Z, where he's got more money to just say, like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to back. Or I'll say another guy who's like that is 50 Cent. Do you realize why people don't come after 50 Cent? 50 Cent puts like a damn near 50 million a year, he says, or some shit, some wild shit to lawyer fees just to fight shit. He ready to fight. Like 50 said the one chick who accused him of something, he said she gonna think she went to college when this is all over. He's like, that's how heavy the education gonna be. And it was only like 35,000. He's like, 50, you don't need that money. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. She tried to come after me, and I got to teach her a lesson. And when you try to, you know what happens when you talk like that? You try to teach somebody. That's misogynist. It's misogynist to defend yourself. It's misogynist to do all of this different shit. I'm sorry. I don't believe. If you told me Zion assaulted a pastry chef that in New Orleans that didn't give him his beignets, I believe it more than I believe him physically assaulting a chick since she was at Duke. I'm sorry.
It's not a monster. Honestly, the person who gets hurt the most in this situation is actual victims, if this isn't the case, you know, because the more scammers out there, it makes it a worse look for people who actually need the help, victims of domestic violence or what have you.
I mean, like, and that's the real. It's like there are women who really are going through this shit.
Speaking of women going through stuff, James, funny you mentioned that. TMZ came out with some news regarding Cardi B and Offset. So, Offset is asking for spousal support from Cardi B.
Have you no shame?
City boys. I'm all for this. I'm a one. I want to say this just in case this is made into a real. I am an unapologetic Cardi B fan. I like Cardi B. I like Cardi B's energy. I do know this though. I don't understand Cardi B's decisions here. You separated from Offset, like to run around with an NFL player that's about to get cut with Diggs.
Oh, that's right.
Who might like men because he's being sued for an inappropriate relationship. Not inappropriate, but his relationship with men. But like,
hold on, maximize that.
This is the boat, and he's got Coke. Coke on the boat. Got the good Coke, pink Coke.
Hey.
And what I'm saying is, here's the problem, ladies. This is me talking to you guys because, I want you to win. It's not attractive to a man to tell a man about your hoeing days.
Oh my king.
And you don't do that do that with the man. Like, that's in Cardi, that hoe, right? And she don't want to dead that hoe. And you know what Offset don't want to do? He don't want to dead the whore in him. You said this before that y'all were fucking them hoes. Y'all could come together as a family unit and be poly, essentially. And y'all can fuck them hoes together, man. And have a great time. Keep your family together. Like, you're going around, because at least Offset is going to be like, all right, man, we're going to pick the best horse for us. Steph is just fucking everybody. Like it should as a single man if that's what he wants to do. But like, you're saying you left Offset because he got you looking stupid. Like, this got you looking smart. Women who think this is empowerment think the red crown tastes the best out of all the other crowns. No, that's the point. They all say you shouldn't eat crowns. You should eat crayons.
Oh, I thought you said red crown. Like
no,
crown
the red crayon or whatever. They eat the red crayon because the red crayon tastes the best. Like, no, you can't get back at us the same way we get back at you. Because at the end of the day, you got to demean yourself. That's the part that I don't understand. Like, what are you doing?
Don't even brag about your whole days to your new potential man. Because honestly,
if it's
men
some
don't
things,
think about it.
Like, women be like, I did threesomes, but I could never do a threesome with you. Why? Why you want to be a whore with him? The guy that's not trying to build anything with you, because I look at you so much different. No, then fuck that. Look at me the same way as you looked at the other ones. Like, do the fun. Like, again, I don't know what happens to some of y'all, but be fun. Cardi's fun. And she seems to be the same typical Spanish mother. She might not cook and shit, but like, well, I've seen her like the pictures with the kids, and like, they're doing the thing, man. But I'm like, is this what we like? Again, this is what we doing? Like, you just out here, just wilding like that? Huh?
You know, these aren't.
But they're not real people.
Yeah, they're not real people.
They're not real people. Celebrities live a life like, they can go around again. Like, Dwight Howard's fucking married, and we know Dwight Howard like boys. I just don't like. Men. Oh, my bad, man. Whatever. I meant like, yeah, he likes men. I don't think Dwight is a pedophile. I just said boys, like, says just like that, but him, yeah, just Offset, get your paper, dog. Because you know what? If it was the shoe on the other foot, and Offset was hot, and Migos was still hot, she'd be hitting him for everything. Hit her for sole custody and that paper.
She still?
Man, we still trying to wait on the sophomore album from her, man. Like
She only has one album.
One album that just drop hits.
She thinks she Lauryn Hill.
No, like nobody drops albums no more.
Damn.
Like unless you know you got a banger and you know you got a tour coming up, it's just like it's easier to just drop a single every now and then. But like, it's just.
I'm so old. I listen to old rappers.
I love old rap. I love old rap. I love old R&B. Like I may catch something on outside of I think his name is Akilo Ali, the guy I showed you about the
Oh yeah, or Saint Lamar.
Yes, oh yeah, Saint Lamar. I fucks with Saint Lamar. I tell you why I like Saint Lamar. So I found out the guy. You have you heard the YN R&B, Jada?
Here, I've dabbled across it on my timeline. Yeah.
So I'm like, man, this little dude crazy. But he has a song. He took Are You That Somebody with and he changed, but he's like, I'm the man from the 614. I'm like, 614? That's Columbus, Ohio. And he keeps rapping in it, and he's like, I'm from out east. I'm like, oh, now I see. I know a crazy motherfucker from out east Columbus, Ohio, too. That's my goddamn daddy. He might be related. But Akeem Ali with the good looking adjectives, like just smooth, like butter.
Yeah, I do like
smooth like butter. Like it just I look like good job. I look like it's just all these different things. Obviously I like BFP the Pac Man because he's just crazy with his stuff. And then I like Good Company. What's my guy's name? Used to run the city in my GT coupe. It'll come to me. It's not La Russell. Yeah. So, but like outside of that, give me the old school shit, man. Fuck, ain't nobody dropping. Big Crit is old. Yeah, like Big Crit ain't no new rapper.
If you class 30, like I'll listen to you.
Need some substance.
Speaking of old heads, we have our old heads wild segment for today, and I couldn't believe it, James. Indiana Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and some might argue that they got it locked and they're going to the championship. But
hell yeah,
we got a former Indiana Pacers talking about his childhood and his OG, his old head, his dad in his life. Jermaine O'Neal said, quote, crazy story. My last name, O'Neal, is made up. That's not even my dad's name. And here's a wild part. I'm one of 33 kids. True story. Whew. 33. God.
What's he making the BR?
So what I'm saying is this, though. And Jermaine, I'm not here to besmirch your mother.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure she's a wonderful woman and she did a great job raising you. Getting you to the NFL. I mean NFL, excuse me, the NBA is just means she might not have done everything right, but she did some things right to make sure that you were able to get to where you need to get to. But my God, your mama is your mama made a choice, dog. And luckily she kept you, but like to be one of 33 is a lot. That means your daddy was more than a Rolling Stone. Your daddy just didn't give a shit about anybody.
Right.
Like
that was a job.
Like
they needed to pay him.
Like you're basically your daddy was either a pimp or your daddy name they was calling him Sweet Dick Willie, and all the women wanted to taste. And because like brother, like that just seems stressful. Or at a point, you know what? Maybe that's where he got his competitive edge, because to get to the NBA, you have to have something in you, like a burning desire. Maybe he just said once he got past 10, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna see how far I can go with this
until
I'm tired. Because that's just crazy. I wonder how many women that spread across, but it's a lot of fornication, my brother.
Yeah, I did meet somebody who had a kind of similar situation. I know somebody I met in college. They said their dad had like 20 something kids. And I was like, are you mad at your dad? I asked him that. I was like, are you mad? Because that's a lot of split time, man. A lot of, daddy worked for the city. Was the Portland man.
Yeah. City boys.
You ain't getting a damn thing from that man.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Speaking of crazy, people were going crazy because they thought Mr. Hoover was free, but they don't know the difference between federal and state. So, Larry Hoover, the co-founder of the famous Chicago street gang GD, aka Gangster Disciples, had his federal life sentence commuted / pardoned by by President Donald Trump on this past Wednesday, May 28, 2025. But, however, he is still serving a 200-year state sentence, so he's not getting out of the bars anytime soon. James, I know you probably heard this news and saw all the, let's just say, uneducated people on the internet happy Hoover was free. But what are your thoughts as it circulated your group chat, your timeline, your feed, etc., etc.?
That just people just are really stupid. And a couple things, like I actually believe Larry Hoover would be a very powerful voice, free on the streets. But this also goes to say that the president has absolutely no idea about states' rights in jurisdictions because he himself has state like New York State, like he can never probably go back because he's got years that he's facing over there. But federally, he's straight because that's what he controls. But like, that's a real face that I bet Larry Hoover made when he got the email, when he got the letter. Fuck, I'm supposed to do with this shit. You know, it's just like a lot of people don't realize that you have like all the charges. So you always hear about you have felony court and you have misdemeanor court. And then the different felonies, unless you're a big case, like the different felonies could mean something too. So like, it's not just one court case. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of things that go along with it. What I really want to know is like the people that he points out that he pardons, right? It's never like the guys that like really that kind of got railroaded. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe deserved it, truly deserved it, like to be pardoned. Like somebody who I would love to see him pardon, right? And I know it won't, and I know this would be controversial too, but like Assata Shakur, Tupac's aunt, allegedly killed a police officer, broke out of prison, fled to Cuba. Pardon her. That would be something that a lot of people would be like, you know what, cool. Regardless of how we feel about Larry Hoover, is Larry Hoover led to a lot of the stereotypes that people have about black people. Created a gangs, drug culture, a lot of those different things. Like, why aren't we pushing? I don't even know who's pushing these things. The people that he frees or works for are like I don't even want to say the lowest common denominator, but like just guys that you just like, all right, man, you worse than TV. You worse than BET right now. Like, who will what will get me the blacks?
That's what it is.
I'm gonna get some street cred. I don't like that being said, like he is trying to get the Griswolds pardoned. But he's not pardoning the Tiger King. Like he could probably because he's a little fruity booty.
You don't need that vote. You got it.
That part.
And I heard too that Trump might pardon Diddy if he takes a closer look into the case to see if he's being mistreated as well.
I think Diddy's getting off.
Better keep that man.
I think he needs to be locked up. The problem is, again, they putting Diddy on trial for being a shitty person. Unfortunately, being a shitty person is not a crime.
Man.
And the crazy part is everybody like Jaguar Wright, Gene Deal, like y'all are terrible people. And I hope Diddy, if Diddy does get off, he smacks you guys with such fucking like defamation lawsuits to where y'all just feel like you feel the heat. And the reason why is because we've been over here thinking that Jaguar White says she ushered personally women away from the freak offs. And you know what we found out in all these cases? The freak off consisted of Puffy, Cassidy, and a male prostitute, and a bunch of different ones. And basically, Cassie getting ran through and having all kinds of wild stuff done, and she coming back to Puffy to share the stories or the fluids. Nasty as hell. He abused Cassie. Domestic violence. None of that shit is Rico. I just like, yeah, this is why I'm like, y'all, like, again, Cassie ain't do that shit for out of the kindness of her heart and wanting to make sure that black women or women are treated equally and fairly. Cassie just wanted money, and she was tired, and she was probably jealous of how he was treating other chicks. So she was like, man, nah, I'm gonna get that motherfucker.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. It was, I think it's racketeering, James, not Rico. That's
What they hit you with, Rico. Racketeering is Rico.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's a conspiracy. Racketeering basically is conspiracy. So like they
because Rico's a group enterprise, and that's why they had to hit Diddy with the racketeering, because he's like the sole,
he's the head of it. Rico is what they do to get heads. It's running. It's a continuing. It's running an enterprise. I see what you're saying, but yeah, like it's. I don't see Diddy running a sex trafficking ring. That don't look. None of this looks like that.
Yeah,
but
I think
I'm not. I'm not
yeah.
going to try to be an attorney on it. I'm just aggravated, and I don't give a fuck about Trump pardoning his ass either.
We got some good news to cap off this show with. So we're going to go back to the beginning of the show to talk about FSU and a specific FSU alumnus. So, James, one of the most notable alumnus at FSU is Sarah Blakely. And many might not know who Sarah Blakely is, but to the ladies, she is a superstar. So, Sarah Blakely is the CEO and founder of the business Spanx. If you guys did not know, she was a graduate of Florida State University with a net worth of approximately $1.3 billion as of 2025. And she has just sold her company. So we just got a video right here of her talking to the company. And she gifted all 500 employees 2 first-class tickets to anywhere in the world and 10 bands.
That was nice. Still, I can't hear. But she looked like she a billionaire. And to quote Beyonce, there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire. But she definitely looked like she doesn't care about the money. She looks just plain Jane. That's dope about her. But like $5 million is what that comes out to. Plus the tickets. Which could be anything if they're anywhere in the world, but like, that's cool. $10,000, just getting $10,000 unexpectedly. That's a cool little get. So, can we give her to like just do that for all Florida State football players? But like, I know she doesn't care about athletics, but that'd be kind of cool to see her do something like that. But that is dope. Dope.
Yeah, but just wanted to clarify, this was around 2021, so hopefully those tickets were used correctly, created some good memories. But James,
so that wasn't what she did when she sold the company?
No. She sold this was when she sold it back in 2021. Excuse me.
Oh, they just talking about this now?
Yeah, the video is just resurfacing. The video.
Oh, okay.
So I just want to add it to the timeline. But yes, James, that concludes our show for today. Any last words to the fans? Or have a good crowd in here tonight. So any last words to the fans enjoying Big Games BS?
Nah, man, appreciate you guys chopping it up with me as your weekend gets started. Please make sure you go and check out the it's 250 on the Twitter. Kudos to y'all. Make sure you go check out the YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a member. Membership has its perks, hotel hookups, giveaways, different things of that nature. You can participate in the pigskin pick'ems in the fall and the college football pick'em, as well as the fantasy football league. We'll be doing again. I think this will be our third year doing the fantasy football league, where you'll compete against everybody. Hopefully you'll win. $50 each week goes to the pigskin pick'em winner or the college football pick'em winner. Then we have all-in members. Membership has its perks. If you want to come hang out like we do in the Super Bowl, you've got to be an all-in member for the entire football season. You also can get sideline passes, access to certain things in the games. The Wednesday before every football game in the fall, we do give away a pair of tickets. So if you don't have Alabama tickets, you can win Alabama tickets, Alabama versus FSU tickets, as long as you listen to that show. Or if we somehow get to 10,000 subs before football season, we will give away a pair of season tickets to a lucky listener and fan, as well as check out the tailgates and all the other different things. Outside of that, really appreciate you guys for chopping up with me on this Friday evening of BS. We will see you guys next time.